Content de te revoir. That's supposed to be my attempt at saying welcome back in French. Last time we took Luigi to New York, Rome, Australia, San Francisco, Tokyo, but now we are in Paris, France. Check the map to find the Koopas and let's get moving along. Get our 3 items, and the first kiosk person asks, what is the profession of the man who designed the Eiffel Tower? The question sorta gives away the answer. We discussed last time Gustave Eiffel's role with the Statue of Liberty, but he's most noted for his role in the design and construction of the Eiffel Tower. Constructed in the late 1800s, it was the entrance to the 1889 World's Fair. Over 100 years old, it still receives millions of visitors every year and has its own restaurants. At the next location, the kiosk lady asks what architectural style the cathedral is. She's talking about Notre Dame, which is a cathedral of French Gothic design. Even though it's Gothic, I don't think you'll hear much goth music while visiting. Notre Dame's construction took over 100 years and finished in the 13th century. Throughout the following centuries, modifications were made and the building has suffered some damage for various reasons. In the 1800s, Victor Hugo's novel The Hunchback of Notre Dame got people kind of reinterested in the cathedral again. Unfortunately, the roof of the building caught fire in 2019. In 2020, the building was stabilized to prevent collapse, and restoration efforts are now underway. So I do have to question the Koopa's role in all this. Instead of stealing something, did he just try to burn it down instead? That's hardcore. Our last stop in France is the Arc de Triomphe. The question is when the building was completed. Over 30 years, the arch was built, and it honors those who fought and died in the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars, roughly 23 years of war. The tomb of the unknown soldier from the First World War is also located here beneath the arch. Next up is Montreal, Canada. I kinda wish we had just come here last time when we were in New York. Oh well, we get our Yoshi and we find our Koopas. We go over to this dome-looking thing and select what looks like a rock, and the lady asks how tall Mount Royal is. The Koopa stole the entire mountain? I'm just not even gonna talk about this one. Let's keep going. Next up is St. Joseph's Oratory, which is the largest church in Canada and one of the largest domes in the world. And the Koopa just stole it. The question was who originally built the original chapel, and the answer is Brother Andre. Brother Andre? He's not my brother. Anyway, Andre Basset was a monk and was known as a kind of miracle healer. He was given money to build a chapel on Mount Royal. Eventually the chapel would be moved and a huge basilica built at his request to honor St. Joseph. I meant to insert a Stephen King Under the Dome reference here, so just, if you don't mind, please go ahead and insert your own reference. Last up in Montreal, we return this weird thing. It's supposed to be part of Olympic Stadium in Montreal, which was built for the 1976 Olympics. Uh-oh, the game got it wrong. We better not talk about this one. I wouldn't want anybody to fail school because this early 90s game got the year wrong. Seriously, did nobody fact-check the answers? Has everything we've learned about Canada so far been wrong? What about the rest of the game? Come on, Yoshi, let's get out of here. We're halfway through the game now, and next up is Moscow, Russia. After getting the items from the Koopa, we go to the first place. Items include dancer's legs, a plume thing, and a bell. Pick the bell. The question is, how long has the bell been in the Kremlin? I'm really liking that early last week answer, but the answer is the 17th century. The Kremlin is a complex of buildings which serve as the residence of the Russian president and also has numerous attractions for visitors, including museums, bells that weigh hundreds of thousands of pounds, cathedrals, and so on. The next location asks, who ordered the church to be built? One of the answers is Basil the Pesto. That might be the best fake answer I've ever seen. The real answer is Ivan the Terrible, and I believe the church is St. Basil's Cathedral, which was built in the 16th century. It's interesting to note that when Mario is Missing was developed and released, this church was not holding church services. The Soviet Union had dissolved, but the lasting effects of the anti-religious agenda of the USSR persisted, and church services did not resume at St. Basil's Cathedral until 1997. And it's all thanks to Basil the Pesto. At the next location, we return some dancer's legs to the Bolshoi Theater. Did the Koopa steal an entire dancer, or just her legs? That would be super messed up. The answer to the question about the Bolshoi Theater is that it sells out every show. This historic theater is home to the Bolshoi Ballet Academy, and Bolshoi Opera. The Bolshoi Theater first opened in the early 1800s and was rebuilt at least once due to fire. Since then, numerous renovations have occurred, and the performances are wildly popular, but surely there's been at least one show that didn't completely sell out. I mean, I wonder if the Kremlin forced the game designers to put that answer in there. I'm sure it's totally accurate. Now we are up to the 9th location, which is London, and just listen to that peaceful music. Let's just take a moment to enjoy that. So we smash our Koopa friends, get to a kiosk lady, look at our items, which include a huge clock, a dude's face, and a diamond. So we pick the diamond, and the lady's question is about what you can see from the tower. She's referring to the Tower of London, which is a series of buildings, some of which are several centuries old. The Tower of London has served several purposes throughout English history, including royal residence, a prison, an armory, a treasury, so on and so forth. I believe the reason the jewel was the item the Koopa stole here is because the crown jewels are traditionally stored in the Tower of London. Of all the things the Koopas have stolen so far, this seems the most reasonable. It's actually small enough to steal and has national value. Unlike the next location where we return the entire Big Ben. She asks how tall it is, and the answer is 320 feet. I wonder if the PAL version of this game would have had the answer in meters. The Great Bell, nicknamed Big Ben, housed in Elizabeth Tower, previously known as the Clock Tower, is a huge British icon. Did you follow all that? Before we leave London, we gotta return this guy's face. She asks, what does minister mean anyway? Okay. It means monastery. I really don't know about this one. We should probably get out of here before someone takes our face off. Buenos Argentina awaits, and I am loving that music. It makes me want to party. Yeah, I'm not going to do a song here. Maybe next time. We get our 3 items, which look like a flute, some earbuds, I guess, and a rock thing. Pick the earbuds, and she asks what an American version of a gaucho is. Now, why would she ask me this? If you go to another country to see the sights and experience the culture, the last thing you would expect is for them to quiz you on your versions of whatever they have going on. Anyway, a gaucho is a type of skilled horseman, maybe not unlike a cowboy or a vaquero, but in the folklore setting of Argentina, Uruguay, and maybe some other parts of South America. Yeah, I don't know how I could have made a song out of this one, and I really have no idea what this item even was. The next lady asks, what does the obelisk monument honor? Built in 1936, the obelisk of Buenos Aires commemorates the founding of the city 400 years earlier in 1536, and it is considered an Argentinian national landmark. Last up before we leave South America, we pick the flute-looking thing, and the lady asks how many people can fit on the stage of the Teatro Colón. The Teatro Colón is an opera house constructed from 1889 to 1908 and has featured numerous performances of ballet, music, opera, and more. After Mario is Missing hit store shelves, the Teatro Colón had to close for a few years for refurbishments, but has since reopened. In addition to reopening, we apparently had to return a stolen flute. How do we know the Koopa wasn't just going to perform here? That's all for now. When we come back next time, we will conclude Luigi's search to find his missing brother. We have 4 more places to explore before the game is over. Will we find him? Find out next time. Mario is missing, but we can still have some fun. Surfing with koala bears, hey, it's time to run. Mario is missing, but we can still have some fun. Surfing with koala.
So let me get this straight. Mario's missing, Luigi has to find him. You know who's missing? That guy. I wonder where he went. You know, I might have to find him, but you know what? First, I need to look for a hot tub for my stream. Let me look here. Hot tubs for sale. Oh yeah, these look promising. Yeah. Let's go to Craigslist. Best hot tubs, prices guaranteed. Oh, the duck. Yep, I like that. Save big bucks with the big yellow duck. Well, I don't like that one. You know what? I'm just gonna have to go with the big yellow duck. No middle markup, man. Bang!